Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar on maximizing the benefits of BillFlash. My name is Tony Peterson. I'm the Vice President of Customer Experience here at NextTrust, and I'm joined today by someone who I know very well, and maybe some of you might know well as also, Monica Peterson, who is an implementation specialist here at NextTrust. We will be presenting today's webinar and going through how you can maximize the benefits in your experience with BillFlash. All right. In today's webinar, we're going to review the following items. So I have provided top 3 tips for an instant revenue lift by using features that are often overlooked or not known about within BillFlash. So I will take a few minutes and talk to you about those things. And then Monica's going to take over for the majority of the webinar, and she'll be sharing with you a breakdown of all the best practices by service, including mail, e-bill, pay services, as well as integrated collections that you can start using today to make your workflows more efficient and ensure that you're getting paid as quickly and as much as you need to for the services that you're providing. So let's jump right into the top 3 tips that I have for you. My tips are going to assume that you have at least a basic understanding of how BillFlash works. Monica's going to talk about a number of the features that I'm going to provide tips on today. So if you don't understand something that I'm talking about, wait a little bit and Monica might her presentation might make it a little more apparent to you. We can also have questions at the end of the session and we'll answer any of them that you might have. We can also reach out to you separately if there's anything specific that you're looking to find out. So let's talk about the 3 tips that I have for using BillFlash and getting paid more and faster. The first one centers around a feature within BillFlash known as autopay. And what's really important to understand is that 83% of all physicians out there report that their greatest challenge within their business is slow patient payments. Patient payments have become one of the biggest issues that are there over the last 20 years as the responsibility for paying for each bill has shifted from the insurance carrier to the patient. In fact, patients are now responsible for over 60% of the bill for each of the visits that occur within the United States right now. That means that it's critical that you get as much of that money as possible. Well, if we look at how people pay their bills, if somebody's paying their electric bill, for example, very often they'll sign up for something that will pay that bill automatically. Within BillFlash, we have a service called AutoPay that introduces that level of functionality to you and your customers within healthcare. Now, if you consider the similarities between healthcare and a utility like an electric bill, you don't know how much the bill is going to be at the beginning of each month, so it's a variable bill. It is a little bit different from utilities in that it's not on a regular monthly interval at all times. But if you don't know what that amount is going to be, that doesn't necessarily have to be a barrier to signing up for autopay. And really, the way that you can take advantage of that a lot more is understanding that just because the feature exists in BillFlash does not mean that your patients are going to know about or be incentivized to sign up for it. It is absolutely critical for this to work that you talk to your patients, that you show them how to sign up for it and incentivize them to sign up for it. If you do that, you're going to get paid a lot more and faster. Imagine if you were able to convince 30% of your patients to sign up for autopay. What that means is that as soon as you send out statements, 30% of your payments are going to be collected immediately. That doesn't mean that every single patient is going to sign up for it. Every single practice will be able to give us stories of the patients who would refuse to sign up for autopay. You don't need every patient to sign up. Whatever patients are willing to sign up, if you're able to take those in as an automatic payment when the statement is sent out, that's going to reduce the amount of burden on your practice to go collect those funds, and it's going to make sure that they get to you consistently and more quickly. This feature is one that is available for patients to self-select into on myproviderlink.com. So we can sign them up when they're in the office, standing in the waiting room, or if we talk to the patients and help them sign up for their MyProviderLink account, within there they'll be able to sign up for auto pay. Other feature that I think is really beneficial, that is not necessarily understood as much as it could be or should be, is the NCOA report within BillFlash. When you send statements using BillFlash, they run through a service with the USPS that is known as the National Change of Address Report. So that's what NCOA stands for. If you remember the mailed letters, when they have the little yellow stickers that are on there, that's part of this particular service. But the NCOA report is going to report back to you on all of your patients that have had an address change since when compared with the address that is on the statement that you send out. So if I had moved to a different city and my doctor sends me a statement using BillFlash and the NCOA report goes back, that will tell my doctor not only Tony has moved, but what the new address is. If you know what the new address is, you can go into your system, update that system so that you have the proper address in there, which is going to increase the speed and likelihood that your patients are going to pay. This feature is one that we've seen numerous customers who they get this report and they do nothing with it. And then they send out the same statement a month later and it has the wrong address again. If you keep sending a statement to the wrong address, it's not likely to be paid. If you read the report that comes back through BillFlash and the NCOA filings that are there, you're going to be paid more consistently and faster. Your patients aren't going to have to update their information with you every time they come in because you're going to have it immediately. So that is another tip that I would put out there. I'd really encourage all of you who are using BillFlash, look at your NCOA report and go update your patient addresses based on what you see there. And then finally, the last tip that I have before I turn it over to the most important person on the call would be Plan Pay. Plan Pay within BillFlash is very, very similar to auto pay and what we were talking about. But what is different with Plan Pay is that it increases the likelihood that patients are going to pay their balance in full by reducing the amount that you're asking them to pay at any given point in time. Most practice management systems and EHR systems out there have a Plan Pay type process where they can give you reminders that say go process a payment for Tony on the first of every month for $25. But BillFlash's Plan Pay feature will actually automatically charge that amount until the balance is resolved. So as soon as you set up a Plan Pay and get the credit card or the ACH information attached to it, that is going to go through and be processed as long as there are funds on the card or in the bank account. If you talk to your patients and communicate with them what those options are, you're far more likely to get a patient to be willing to pay 5 different $100 payments than asking them to pay one $500 payment that they don't have. So Monica's going to talk to you about these features as she goes through the presentation today. You should be able to see all of those different things that are there. Those 3 features, if you start using them and using them appropriately, they're going to change the profitability of your practice in a very big way for the better. So with that said, I will turn the rest of the time over to Monica, and she'll walk you through the best practices within BillFlash for all of the different services that are there.
Thank you, Tony. Hi, my name is Monica Peterson, and I am one of the implementation specialists here at NextTrust. We focus on helping our new existing customers optimize the BillFlash services. Today, I would like to show you the services BillFlash has to offer, as well as some features which you might not be aware of. Statements may be sent from BillFlash via mail or an e-bill notice via email or text. E-bill notices via email and text are delivered the same day, and mailed statements are delivered on the next business day. Any approval or rejection may be canceled on the same day until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we start processing statement files. Files approved after 6 p.m. will still be processed. A payer statement file should always be reviewed before approval. While reviewing the file, you will be able to review the patient's statement, customize the template, exclude a payer from being sent a statement, exchange the delivery method, add custom messages, and change the color of the statement. If your business is enrolled in our integrated collection services, you will be able to send a payer to collection via this same screen. You will only be charged for what you approve. Once a file has been approved, you have until 6 p.m. Eastern Time to cancel the approval. This allows for last-minute changes. If, for example, a customer makes a payment after a statement file has been approved, you will be able to cancel that approval. This will allow you access to edit the file and remove the statement for the since paid account balance. Once you are finished making your changes, you will need to approve the file again. And my tip here is that it is recommended to send statements as soon as possible and keep your invoicing on a regular schedule. The recommended billing cycle is 28 to 30 days. Please remember that the longer you wait to send your statements, the lower the chances are of you being successful in collecting payments. One of the tools at your disposal is the ability to change the color of the statement. As you can see in this example, we use the red printed statement to emphasize the urgency of the past due balance and added a custom message to inform the payer that they may contact us to arrange a payment or that otherwise they will be sent to collections. We recommend adding a clear message such as "This is your final statement. Please pay within 14 days of receipt." You can offer assistance by asking the payer to contact you to make payment arrangements by a specific date, or they will be sent to collections. BillFlash offers a payment solution which allows for in-office payments as well as self-pay for convenient online payments. Our integrated collection services are simple and conveniently rolled into the statement sending process. After mailed statements have been processed and mailed, the report data will update with a mailed date. The USPS also provides 2 additional reports for your convenience, if applicable. The first report is the address change report. It provides the new payer address, as Tony has mentioned earlier, for those payers who recently moved and left a forwarding address with the U.S. Post Office. The second report is the not mailed report, and it provides a list of payers whose address could not be verified, and because of that, the statement was not sent to them. These reports require you to either update the information in your office management software or to contact the payer. Let me show you how you can keep track of that in BillFlash. You can track and check off the data which needs to be updated in your practice management software by accessing Reports to Update My App under the Reports tab. In the screenshot above, you can see the Documents Not Mailed report. In the screenshot below here, you can see the Documents Not Mailed report, which I have retrieved by clicking the View button in the data table above. Once you have contacted the payer and updated the address in your practice management software, you will be able to check the box next to the file number and move the report to Archives by clicking Archive Checked Files. My tip here is, or should you not be able to reach your payer through a mailed statement, but the patient has an email or mobile phone number on file in your practice management software, you will be able to send them an e-bill notice via email or text instead of that mailed statement. If you do not have an alternate contact method for this payer, you will have to disable statements for that account until you are able to update the payer's contact information. To track your address change report data, simply view the report and update the payer addresses in your office management system with the new addresses provided by the U.S. Post Office. Once done updating the addresses from that report, simply click the box next to the file number and archive that specific report. Let's move on to our pay features. We have a great comprehensive payment solution, which allows you to accept mobile, online, in-office, mail, and phone payments with popular features such as stored pay, auto pay, and plan pay. You will be able to charge credit cards, refund and cancel payments, adjust payment amounts, and utilize our stored and automated payment options. Your payer will be able to make payments online, view their statements and payment history, as well as set up automatic payments, which we call auto pay, for themselves. Our stored pay and auto pay features are very popular. These services are designed to make your workflow more automated and streamlined. Our stored pay feature allows for a secure way to store your payer's credit card information for future use. Our plan pay provides you with the ability to set up periodic payment plans with a fixed amount and number of payments. And lastly, our autopay feature lets you set up automatic payments for the full amount billed, which may be restricted by a maximum amount processing limit. The autopay feature works similar to an automated utility bill payment. Did you know that BillFlash offers declines reports? That report can be found in Standard Reports under the Payment tab. Simply select Declines from the first drop-down menu, followed by the date range, and click Search. BillFlash will generate a custom payment report showing which of the automated payments have been declined. We recommend checking this report weekly. Another tip that I have is one that saves a lot of time answering questions regarding refunds and cancellations. When you process a cancellation or refund, we recommend adding a simple message explaining why the transaction was canceled or returned. As your payers have access to all payment receipts, they will be able to see the message when reviewing a receipt and not wonder about why was this amount refunded or what the reason for it was. If using BillFlash Pay Services without sending statements, we recommend uploading all of your payer data from your office management software to BillFlash via the Add Missing Contact Info instructions, which can be found in the My Payer tab. Completing this task will allow you to connect your payers to the payments you are taking on their behalf. Your payers will be able to make online payments via LinkPay. And LinkPay is a feature in BillFlash that is customizable. It is a link which allows your payers to make online payments. It is found in your templates and comes pre-populated with a custom number which may be changed to your business name by customizing the template. Your LinkPay custom link allows for simple payments to be made online at myproviderlink.com. Your custom LinkPay may also be used to collect pre-office visit payments or copays. These payments need to be posted manually in your office management software. Next are best practices for integrated collections. Using BillFlash's integrated collection services is pretty much as easy as sending your statements. We will assist you in setting the collection parameters in your BillFlash account, which will automatically flag accounts that match this criteria for your review. After these parameters are established, reviewing flagged accounts that are recommended for collections will be part of your normal process of uploading and reviewing statements. So sending somebody to collections is as simple as uploading a patient statement file to BillFlash, and then everybody who meets the criteria that you have set up in your BillFlash account will be pre-checked under the send column, as you can see here, to be sent to collections, and also pre-checked for the statement to be deleted, so you are no longer sending a statement to a patient. Yes, it is really that simple. Once you approve your file, one of our recovery specialists will begin the collection process. Note that there is no cost to add BillFlash integrated collections to your account. You don't pay until we collect on your past due accounts receivable. For best collection results, we recommend that you set the threshold of eligibility for a past due balance to be sent to collections to 61 plus days past due. You will also be able to communicate with our team of recovery specialists from within your BillFlash account via the collections detail report while you are viewing your collections activity. So you simply access Run Reports and select Collections from the sub-tab. Within the Collections feature of our Reporting tab, you will be able to click on View under History right here, which will bring up this Collections Detail Report. And as you can see, highlighted here is a Send Inquiry icon that you will be able to click and communicate with our recovery specialists. I have a few more tips and tricks that I hope you will find useful. And the first of them is the Find tab. Some of you might be familiar with it, but we have a Find tab in BillFlash, and it allows for a quick search for an individual statement that has been sent out, as well as a specific payment. All you do is click the Find tab and select either Send Document or Completed Payment from the Find tab and search by the choice of your own filter. Another tip is that most column headers in BillFlash reports and data tables may be clicked on to sort the data in that column. Pretty much any header of a column that is underlined can be clicked on, and it will sort the data below. Columns with numeric data will be sorted smallest to largest, and the alphabetic data will be sorted, of course, in alphabetical order. And my last tip is, while reviewing your payer data in your file review, so after you upload your patient statement and you click on Review My File, you will be able to see that our main columns may be expanded or closed using the open or close angle bracket, which you find on the right side to expand and on the left side to shrink the column back to just the main column. In our example here, I have expanded the aging column. As you can see right now, you can just see the total of your aging report and pretty much the amount due. But when I click on this open angle bracket here, it expands to show the aging in more detail, as in the current, past due 30, past due 60, 90, and so on columns. And this was my last tip for utilizing BillFlash to the fullest. Back to you, Tony.
Thank you, Monica. That brings us to the end of our planned presentation for today. So if any of you have any questions, we would love to answer any that you might have. If you'd like to type it into chat, we can answer there. If you also unmute your microphone, we can answer them live. We do have a fair number of people here, so if we get too many unmuting at the same time, we may need to figure out how to manage that a little bit. But if you have a question, feel free to type it into chat or unmute your microphone at this point. And it looks like we've got a question from Sandy. Can you process credit card payments for co-pays daily? So, Sandy, I'm wondering, are you asking if they can be automatically charged on a daily basis? We don't have a scheduled daily payment that could happen for the same patient, where although I don't know how many patients would be having a copay on a daily basis. BillFlash can be used to process those payments, but at this point in time, there's not something that would just automatically run them for copays on a daily basis. That is a very good suggestion, and one that we will take a look at implementing. Your follow-up question, that I see there in the chat, can you save credit card information for a payment or a patient? Absolutely you can. It can be saved in two different ways. You can save it while the patient is there in your practice or over the phone, whatnot. If you type it in, you can save it in something that is called stored pay. and Monica talked a little bit about that. Our team would be happy to show you how to do that. Stored pay is used by you and your staff to go in and use the credit card on file. It makes it very easy to take phone calls or to process payments at that point in time. Similar to a copay, you could just say, do you want to use the card on file, select it and charge it. That is absolutely possible. We also allow the patients to store their own credit card on myproviderlink.com, where they can use it and have it there in their list of credit cards to choose from. And that is a stored payment method for the patient to use on MyProviderLink. So that is absolutely something that can be done there. So it's a great question. Anna has a question. Are we allowed to upload our own statements from the billing software we use once integrated, or do we have to only use your statements? So our statements, we have multiple formats that are there, Anna. You can upload statements from your billing software, but it needs to go into one of the templates that we have on our side. Our staff is able to work with you and customize those formats and those templates so that they can meet the requirements that you have. So if there's something that you would like to change about those, I would recommend getting in touch with your customer success representative, and we can help you make those modifications for you. Then Brandy has a follow-up question. What date does the aging under collections go off of, or is it the date of service? It depends on the aging that is on your statements, Brandy. There are multiple different systems that are out there that age differently. And the aging that we are going off of is the aging that is on the statement. So if your practice management system is basing the aging on the patient statement by the date of service, then it's going to go off of the date of service. Or the other option that is often used is the date of billing, but it's going to be based on what your software is putting onto the statements that are uploaded to BillFlash. Hopefully that answers your question there. Looks like there's another question that has come in from Martina. If sending statements to patients by email or text, how will patients know it is from the provider? The statements themselves are not sent via text. What we send is something that's known as a notification of obligation, where we send a text message that says a statement from, and then the name of your practice is available for you at the following link. And then they click through the link, validate themselves, log in, and they're able to see the statement. But the text itself does have the name of your practice and your business that is sent out, and the email has the same. So when they receive that notification that there is a statement ready for them to view, then it's going to say the name of your business on the notification that goes.
I also would like to add something, especially for the e-bill notification. You get to select and set up which email you would like to use. So if you have an email that identifies, like an email address that identifies your practice, that email address will be visible as the from email address in your patient's inbox.
Absolutely true. Sandy, are you unmuted?
Yes, can you hear me?
Absolutely. What can we do for you?
Okay, well, let me explain. Basically, what we're trying to do, we're a speech therapy practice, and basically the patients come in daily, and some of them have to pay their copay. And currently what we're doing is just processing them manually. What we're looking to do is to be able to save the credit card information underneath the patient's name, so that we can run the co-payments for the patients as they come in. Is that something that is accessible through this program?
Yes. Now, when you say that you would want to process them as they come in, as the patient shows up, they would come up to your front desk And what you're thinking is that the person at the desk would say, are you going to use your card on file, or we're going to process it with your card on file, and you just do it right then and there? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can absolutely do that. What we don't have right now is the ability to load a list of them and say process all of your co-pays at the same time, if that makes sense.
No, I would just want to be able to go in individually underneath the patient. They come in, I don't know, their co-payment's $40. So I want to run $40 instead of, basically what I'm doing now is I'm using a credit card machine manually. And having to go into a computer system to pull up the credit card information that's saved. And I'm trying to save us time where we can get it all within one program. So that, if they want to keep their credit card on file, that's great, we can do that. And they authorize for us to do that. But then, so each day I would want to be able to settle those credit cards.
Yes. That is exactly what stored pay can be used for. If you set up your patients with stored pay within BillFlash, then that is exactly what you'd be able to do with the system. And our staff can walk you through how to set that up and give you training on that. That is the workflow and work case that is most often used there for that type of thing, as well as phone payments. When somebody calls in and they don't want to have to take it over the phone, they can do it right there as well. But what you're describing can absolutely be done.
Okay, and then we could generally just wipe out the credit card machine that we have. We wouldn't need that anymore because we would be able to process that through you. Is that how that works?
You could theoretically wipe out the credit card machine if you're processing it through us. When you sign up through BillFlash with Pay Services, we do have the option for you to utilize terminals in the office that integrate with BillFlash as well. So it really depends on how you want to do it. If you want to do it straight within the online system, the way that you've described, that will work. If you still want to have a terminal for whatever reason, we can have a terminal there that is hooked up to the exact same account, so you minimize the number of fees that you're paying on a monthly basis, trying to keep multiple accounts open.
Okay, that's great. So it would just be an additional fee, I assume, additional to the software?
Or for the terminal?
Yeah.
The terminal's a one-time fee where you're buying the terminal. We don't rent the terminals out, so you buy the terminal and then it's yours and you never pay again.
That's fantastic. And it gets direct deposited into our account, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Would you be able to tell me what that one-time fee would be?
We have a couple of different terminal options, so that would be something we would want our sales representatives to talk you through and let you know what the options are. I think that the most expensive one is $200 or somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that. I want the experts on that to talk to you about it.
Okay, that's fantastic. Thank you for answering my questions.
Time. Is there anything else that we can do for you today?
Now, you basically answered my main questions. And like I said, it was just that we're able to save the credit card information underneath the patient and that we're able to process those co-payments daily.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sandy. Those were great questions.
Thank you very much.
There's one more question that has come through from Martina. Can we use a provider's existing merchant ID to set up credit card payments, or do we have to sign a new merchant agreement with BillFlash? We offer both options in most circumstances. There are a couple of merchant ID providers that don't work with BillFlash in that regard. So Square, Stripe, and PayPal, if you are using any of those, then we can't hook them up to BillFlash and use that as the back-end processor. But if you have a more traditional type of relationship with your bank or a merchant account provider, we can absolutely use those existing merchant IDs and set you up with that. And our team can walk you through that process. All right. Are there any other questions from anybody that is still left on the call?
Oh, I guess I should ask real fast. Okay, so if my boss decides to go with this, and I need to figure out the whole credit card thing, is there going to be another webinar on how to do the credit card process and all of that and setting it up?
So I'm sure that we'll have a webinar on that process, but when you sign up for it, Monica's team, she's on our implementation team, they will come through and do a training for your practice and show you exactly how to make that happen. Monica, is there anything you would add to that?
That is exactly what I would have said. You will have a implementation specialist assigned, and that implementation specialist will make sure that all of your training has been done. You will be able to reach out to them, ask any questions. And like Tony said, we offer unlimited training, so we make sure that our customers are very knowledgeable on the software.
Okay, thank you, Monica.
You're very welcome.
All right. Any other questions? These are great. Like we're starting to lose a few people. We'll give you another couple seconds and then wrap up for the day.
Tony, one more question.
Sure.
How do I go about having a sales rep come out and speak with us?
Come out and speak with you might be a little different than what we do, but we will have somebody reach out and schedule that with you today.
They don't have to come out. I just didn't know like when we would be able to speak with a sales rep to find out some other details in regards to the cost and so forth.
Yeah, we can have someone reach out to you to schedule that today.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Martina, for joining us. I appreciate the questions and the attendance. Are there any other questions before we wrap for the day? All right. Well, if not, we appreciate you taking the time to join us this afternoon. We appreciate your business as Next Trust BillFlash customers. If there is anything that we can do to help you, there's contact information up there on the screen right now. If you'd like to have a demo of any of the features that we've talked about today, you can schedule it at BillFlash.com. That's another place where you could go, Sandy, if you wanted to look at times that they were available on BillFlash.com. There's a schedule appointment link right up in the upper right corner. So if somebody wanted to look at it and say, there's this time works for me, you can schedule it yourself up there, but we will still have someone reach out to you. For everyone else, and everyone on the call, if you need to reach us, there's our phone number and email address up there as well. Thank you so much for your time here this afternoon. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of the week, and we will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.